Hi everyone, I'm Mr. Smith, it's Friday, Paraskevia, and today we're looking at the 12 months of the year and the seasons associated with them. In Georgian, ts'elits'adis tormet'i and ts'elits'adis droebi, and also two calendars because the zafkhuli is the one that people still remember, which belongs to the folklore, and the other one being the romauli, which is the one more recognizable for us today. So if you're ready, let's go. Slide 1 is a poem, very popular among children because they list the 4 seasons of the year, and if you say it fast enough, the whole poem, it rhymes. Kinda. And the faster you say it, the more it rhymes, and that sense of achievement that you've memorized a poem is a very cute thing for Georgian kids to learn, and for us at our level, I think it's an essential tool. So, spring, summer, autumn, winter. We're not changing the order. Gazapkhuli, zapkhuli, shemodgoma, zamtari. Gazapkhuli, zapkhuli, shemodgoma, zamtari. Esets, sheni, otkhi. These are your 4 seasons. Esets, sheni is a little bit like saying, ta-da, here they are. Your 4 seasons, the 3rd line. And then ts'elits'adi, the year. Mzad, aris, is ready. So that's what it really says, quite simply. These are your 4 seasons, spring, summer, autumn, winter, and now your year is ready. So, from the beginning, gazapkhuli, zapkhuli, shemodgoma, zamtari, esets, sheni, otkhi, ts'elits'adi, mzad. I'm deliberately omitting the S because it just doesn't rhyme if you say the S, and in modern Georgian, not using the S does sound quite fluent. I'm going to speed it up a bit. Gazapkhuli, zapkhuli, shemodgoma, zamtari, esets, sheni, otkhi, ts'elits'adi, mzad. I could actually say it a little bit faster, but that you can see it's why I enjoy saying it, right? So this is the translation at the bottom. This, of course, is the phonetic in the middle and the writer of this poem. Please try to learn it this way. That's how Georgians do it, and it actually brings a smile to my face. Secondly, in spring, gazapkhul ze. In summer, zapkhul shi. The seasons in Georgian have a flip of prepositions. They don't use the same prepositions. If you want to know a tip, if it starts with a z, it doesn't end with a z preposition. So zapkhul shi, zamtar shi, gazapkhul ze, shemodgoma ze, ze shi. If it has a z, it's a she. Zapkhul shi, zamtar shi, gazapkhul ze, shemodgoma ze. And just because it's fun, gazapkhuli, zapkhuli, shemodgoma, zamtari, esets, sheni, otkhi, ts'elits'adi, mzad. Remember that otkhi is seasons. Dro means time. But in this case, the ts'elits'adis droebi are the seasons of the year. Got it? Good, memorize it. Slide 2, on one hand, shouldn't be difficult because the 12 months of the year have relatively the same names in English, but the only thing that we're doing is we're organizing them by season. So the first season is spring, and the first month of that season will be March. So remember, gazapkhuli, spring, gazapkhuli biya, the spring months, mart'i, aprili, maisi. This is a departure because in English we often learn January, February, March, but we must learn them by season because this way the second calendar we look at makes more sense because that is a folk agricultural calendar where indeed the beginning of the year, the beginning of new life is spring. So, gazapkhuli biya, mart'i, aprili, maisi. Zafkhuli biya, ivlisi da agvist'o. Ivlisi ივლისი და აგვისტო. შემოდგომის თვეებია სექტემბერი, ოქტომბერი და ნოემბერი. შემოდგომის თვეებია სექტემბერი, ოქტომბერი და ნოემბერი. And then finally, zamtris tvebia, the winter months, decemberi, Januari da tebervali. If we were to look at this from an English perspective, we'd have to start reading at the bottom. So, Januari, tebervali, mart'i, aprili, maisi, iვლისი, agvist'o, septemberi, octoberi, novemberi, decemberi. Looking at it from a more British, Anglo-Saxon perspective. Whichever way you find easier, but like I said, that's how the poem works. That's how many of the readings for the advanced A2 level are oriented. And so the sooner we get used to this way of seeing the months and the seasons, the better. Slide 3 looks a lot like slide 2, but the names have changed a lot because this is the Kharkhuri list, the folk list that predated the Romauli list. So these are the names that came before, and they're associated with modern day celebrations, which is quite interesting. Something about the cultural identity of Georgia still links with that old rural ideology. And so, for example, the month of blooming flowers, May, is called Vardobistve. Tve on the end will appear many times. Vardobistve, coming from the rose, the month of roses, the month of blooming flowers. It's connected with a lot of romantic literature and songs and dedications and homages even today. The next two I don't know much about. I know that they're verbs of harvest, cutting and reaping. But Mariamobistve I do know because Mariamoba is the yearly celebration of the Ascension of Maria. It is a holiday in Georgia, and it's the celebration of the Ascension of Maria. It happens every August. It happened this month. Mariamoba, the Saint's Day. Mariamobistve, the month of Saint Maria. That's where it comes from. Similarly, Rvinobistve is not the month of Saint Wine, but it certainly is the month of wine. And October is a very important month for the harvesting of wine. So Rvinobistve, which actually links to the harvest itself, which is the Rtveli, the harvest celebration of the wine, makes a lot of sense. So it's not the month of Saint Wine, but perhaps just the glory to the wine month. Rvinobistve. Similarly, the next month, Georgova happens every year in Georgia, the patron saint of Georgia, Sakatvelo's patron, Georgi, Georgobistve, the month of St. George, Georgoba, the celebration in November of his month. Christeshobistve, the month of Christ's birth. Now, we should know that in our calendar, Christmas Day. So Christeshoba, Jesus' birthday, is the 25th of December for us. And so the month of Jesus' birth, Christeshobistve. Apnisi, no idea. But this one, the last one, is the month of rain, the month of water. So February, ts'elits'adis is the month of the rains. The root here would be ts'kali, water, and just as an additional thing, the star sign Aquarius is mert'i, and so it's more associated with the coming of the rain and the month of rains in February. Slide 4, just to troubleshoot some things from English to Georgian. We don't put a plural noun, like for example months, if we've said there are 12. We do put a plural noun if we've not numbered them. So, ts'elits'adis tormet'i tve, the year's 12th month. That's how it's done. Ts'elits'adis droebi, the year's seasons. Now, if you remember from the song, ts'elits'adis otkhi dro, we've numbered it, so we don't need to pluralize it. This is a constant autocorrection that I needed to do myself. So this is just a nice expression of it because in our heads we naturally think of those numbers, but autocorrect them at this stage, at this early stage, and you'll benefit from that, okay? Ts'elits'adis tormet'i tve, or ts'elits'adis tweebi, ts'elits'adis droebi, or ts'elits'adis otkhi dro. No other variant is acceptable here. Okay, which of these four doesn't belong? Tormet'i, ratom. Mart'i, aprili, agvist'o, maisi. Maisi, agvist'o, aprili, mart'i. Which one doesn't belong? Each season has 3. Is it May? Is it April? No, they're in the same month. That's spring. Mart'i? That's the beginning of the year. That's definitely spring. Agvist'o. Agvist'o gazapkhulis tve aris. Es zapkhulis tvea. August is not a spring month. It's a summer month. Number 2. Romeli tve aklia. Romeli tve aklia. Which one is missing? Dekemberi. Tebervali. Dekemberi. Tebervali. Romeli tve aklia. Januari. Januari. Dekemberi, tebervali, Januari. Question 3. Novemberi, oktomberi. Novemberi, oktomberi. Romeli tve aklia. Which one's missing? Maisi? If you're thinking in septemberi, you're right. Novemberi, oktomberi, da septemberi. So that asks the question, ts'elits'adis romeli droa. Which season is A2? Dekemberi, tebervali, Januari. Zamtaria. Zamtaria. It's winter. Novemberi, oktomberi, septemberi. Ts'elits'adis romeli droa. Which one? October, September, November. Shemodgoma. Shemodgoma. That's the right answer. That's it. I hope you enjoyed that. That's the last slide of today. Next week, we're going to be looking at the verb to drink in Georgian, which is quite fascinating because you need 2 verbs to achieve one thing. It's going to be something we'll deal with next week. I'll see you then. Bye.